Hi, this is Doug Bradley, Pinhead from the Hellraiser movies, and you are listening to Without Your Head. And you better keep listening to Without Your Head, or you will not only be without your head, you will be without your soul, because I will tear it apart.
Hey, this is Nasty Neal, and I am live here from historic downtown Chinatown in Boston, Massachusetts. So, usually every weekend I head up to Boston and I see some movies. I use the AMC Stub Club primarily, so you can see 4 movies a week. It costs like $20 a month, 22 maybe, 4 movies a week. A movie costs at least like $10. If you see in 3D or something, it's like 20. So it's quite a deal, is what I'm saying. So hey, Chobo, what's going on? He saw WrestlePalooza is awesome. So no spoilers, please. I've not seen WrestlePalooza. I have not seen. I probably won't watch WrestlePalooza to be honest, but I have not seen AEW All Out, which I will watch tomorrow. But I probably will not be watching the WWE pay-per-views anymore. I'm not a big fan to begin with, and so paying $30 a month for ESPN Plus is not really any interest in me. But I will not begrudge anyone who enjoys them, and you should watch whatever you are into, I would say. So I went up here to Boston. I was going to see him, the new Jordan Peele movie, but I'm actually going to go see that with my brother Troy on Monday. We'll probably do a live review of that on Monday, and then Wednesday we'll be live with Naomi Grossman, formerly of American Horror Story, or maybe even futurely of American Horror Story, and she is in the new film. Him, I'm really excited to see it. She made the cover of some of the posters. She's like the monster underneath the bench. Pretty sweet. Anthony's going to go see The Long Walk Tuesday. I love The Long Walk. We talked about that earlier in the week, Troy and I. You can check that out here. Hit the like button, subscribe. I think last I looked, we were 30 away from 6,000 subscribers. So help out, subscribe. And if you already subscribed, share this out. You can also hype it. I don't know what that does, but do it. Hype the show, and you can share it out to your buddies, your pals, your amigos. Maybe share it out to your enemies, and they'll become your friends. And you can become a member. Starts only $3 a month. Helps the site, and you can become a producer for $10 a month and get IMDb credit. Pretty sweet. And I try to keep all the interviews free. I am restoring some of the really old episodes that are pretty not great, low quality audio. So I'm going to be remastering those, and they are bonuses for people who are members. Get a lot of notifications here. I don't know what's going on. So anyway, I went to see a Indian movie. I'm a big fan of Indian cinema. And what happened was with the AMC Club, sometimes, it used to be 3 movies and now it's 4. And so I'd be like, oh, I got an extra free movie. I'll go see something that I might not normally see. Sometimes it sucks. Sometimes it would be a happy accident. And so one night I ended up going to see Indian movie. People call them Bollywood films, but I think that's more like back in the day when a lot of the Indian movies were like Indian like version, maybe like the Bollywood version of Terminator. And so it'd just be the Terminator, but it would be, the Indian version. It'd be very silly and stuff. But current Indian cinema is much different. It's new movies, original movies, and so I kind of fell in love the first time I went to one. I enjoy them. They're very much a throwback to like old Hollywood movies. So they're very big. So you've like usually have like hundreds of extras like they used to back in like the Cecil B. DeMille days, that kind of thing. They almost always break out into a song and dance number. The heroes are very macho and heroic and very manly. The women that's interesting. The women are either the very feminine love interest or they're evil, and that happens a lot in Indian cinema where the woman seduces the guy, and this sets him down the wrong path. So it's like Usually, the indie movies are very black and white, as like this is good, these people are evil. Some of them are, and it's a different culture, so it's kind of some of the stuff's weird. There are sometimes some racial humor that goes over my head, honestly, and then like the crowd erupts into laughter, and I feel like, am I supposed to laugh at this? But I almost always have a really good time. And so this time, so I was there. Mariah, I believe, is the name. It was like a 3 hour movie. I think it's based on a real legend. I could be wrong about that, but it's so this woman who goes to these great lengths to find like this um, kind of like a wizard or like this great mentor. He's kind, like this spiritual guy. He's like in the mountains somewhere. And then he tells her that you have to sacrifice your firstborn child that she's pregnant with right now. And she's like, I can't do that. And he's like, well, the only way we can defeat this great evil that is coming is it would have to be the son of her hero. So it has to be her son, and they want the kid to be raised completely away from the mother, and he's going to be raised in a he's going to go through pain. He's gonna grow up like with nothing. So he's going to have a hard life, but this is going to make him the hero that he is meant to be. And so that's what happens. So it starts off like, wow, this is a pretty huge deal. And then so then it goes to him as an adult, and there's a lot of humor in it. Him at first because he's kind of like a goofy young adult before he finds his way. Kind of the classic hero's journey. He doesn't know that he just thinks he's got a hard life, raised on out the streets, no family. Thinks his mom abandoned him and his buddy, and then he finds this guy, the wizard guy, and starts telling him his destiny, and then so he has to fulfill his destiny, become the hero that he's meant to be. So he's fighting. He has to go get a griffin, which is a pretty sweet scene, big giant griffin. So like I said, these movies are usually like really big budget, lots of effects, and this was like sort of like a Game of Thrones, but set in modern day. But like, so the Griffin's very much like the dragons in Game of Thrones, big giant Griffin that's flying around, and he's got to tame it at first, and then then it's his throughout the movie. Then there's like his evil counterpart, which is also a kid that was raised almost the Antichrist in a way, like he's raised since a child to destroy the world, and then he is raised to defeat him. So just a really like a kind of a basic morality tale in that way. It's the ultimate good versus the ultimate evil, but it was very original. I dug it. I dug it a lot. I really had a good time. Really packed audience. And then when I was leaving, it's plus like I said, it was 3 hours. Sometimes they have intermissions. This one did not. This one also did not have song and dance. Besides that, very much Indian film. Like the guy, especially once he really starts becoming the hero, a lot of like slow motion where he's like about ready to fight people and stuff. It's stuff that would almost probably be corny in an American movie, but it works in the Indian movie. So when I was leaving, this guy, he's like, "Oh, excuse me, sir, you speak, great English, but I'm sure it's not his first language." And he's like, "You mind if I ask you questions?" I'm like, no. He's like, he just straight up, he's like, "What were you doing there?" And I was like, "Oh, I go see a lot of Indian films." And he's like, "Yeah, I noticed you in there, and my friend here noticed you. And so, what did you think of the movie?" And I was like, "I really enjoyed it." And he's like, "Oh, it's interesting." He said, "Because we started to talk." He said it's from Bangladesh, and his mom didn't like the movie because it doesn't have the song and the dance. He liked it, and his I think it was his girlfriend liked it. And then he started telling me that a lot of newer directors don't do the song and dance number. That's like the new trend to not do that because they want the movies to be more Americanized. And I think it's because they probably grew up watching American movies, and maybe they see like that song and dance stuff like old timey, which it would be here. Like you don't really see musicals very much, so I like that feel of them. But I don't grow up. I didn't grow up there. Didn't grow up with these movies. I know my friend Alok, he doesn't like that part of those movies, and he's Indian descent. So anyway, that was a great time. Then I went to see the new Andrew. What's the name? Andrew. Whatever. The guy who made the wrestler. Androsky. Caught stealing. And so this was very much like an early 2000s movie, like everything that came out after Pulp Fiction, and like oh, the guy who made Train Spotting and that kind of stuff. So it's like a bunch of like very unique characters, and then they all kind of come together, and there's a lot of like just little weird things that like pay off later in the movie. Not so much like Pulp Fiction where there's like separate stories, but it's all these different characters. So it starts off a young guy who got hurt, and you don't know the exact uh, reason until later why he left. He was going to play for the San Francisco Giants, gets hurt or something happens to him, and now he's just like a bartender, alcoholic. He's still like in his early 20s, has this girlfriend. She sees a lot of potential in him, but at the same time, he's got a lot of childish tendencies. He just calls his mom all the time. He just drinks all the time. Never says he loves her to the girl. They're his neighbor in the apartment says like, my dad had a stroke. I got to go back to England, take care of my cat. So that's the setup. So you got to take care of this guy's cat. These two thugs, Ukrainian and Russian dudes, are looking at that guy's apartment, and they're like, "Is Russ here?" And he's like, "No." And then they just beat the shit out of him. And so he's in hospital, has to get his kidney removed. He's ruptured his kidney. And then so it starts up. Then you've got the police detective coming in asking what's going on, and then you've got these two Hasidic Jewish brothers who are also looking for whatever Russ left. He finds out it's a key, and so I was really with this for probably like 35, 40 minutes of the movie or so. A little, not quite half of the movie, I think, because it has a certain tone to it where it's got a very not like an overt comedy, but it's comedic where you don't take anything too seriously, even though like you got hitmen and stuff. There comes a point. I'm gonna give a spoiler here. So it's the two main characters. Those are really the only two characters you care about. That anything would happen to the boyfriend and the girlfriend. So, sort of not early, but it's 30 about a little bit. I think just a little bit before halfway through the movie, she gets murdered, gets shot in the head and killed. So, in my opinion, at that point in time, the movie needs to tonally change to now this is a serious, dramatic movie. The guy's girlfriend is dead through some fault of his. He never even told her he loved her in the film, but it doesn't. It keeps that weird comedic tone where stuff doesn't really matter. Yet we just saw the death of his girlfriend, one of the only two characters you actually care about in the movie, and I think that actually ruined the movie. Like I still thought it was an enjoyable watch, but that it should have been a total shift in the storytelling because that scene and then the follow up, they don't pay that off right because I kept thinking it must have been fake because the movie he's still playing a lot of stuff for comedy and I just don't think that works. Like if this guy's girlfriend dies, now we're a serious movie, but instead it's still like goofy and stuff. It almost made her like just a pointless, not even a real character, just a plot point, and that really bothered me. So it's a mixed bag. I did think it's an enjoyable film, especially if you're into like those early 2000 kind of movies. I think you kind of know what I'm talking about. And then you get a lot of you could tell they're all hamming it up because you've got what's this Shriver and I forget his name. Was it Lee Schreiber, I think, and the Kingpin. Every time I'm here, we get some sirens going on. Lee Schreiber and D'Onofrio. It's D'Onofrio. So they're really hamming it up as the Hasidic Jewish scene. And it's funny, but to me, really they shouldn't have the girlfriend get killed because I think and I don't think the movie ever recovers from that because like you should feel really bad, but the whole tone is very goofy, and so it's a contrast that doesn't work in my opinion. And I think you'd hear more about the movie if it wasn't for that. I think that's the major flaw of the film. And then the third movie I saw was Afterburn, which I was like, oh, a new Batista movie. The setup sounds good. It's Batista and Samuel Jackson. It's a post-apocalyptic world, and he's like a hunter for like artifacts. So I was like, this sounds good. And then I watched the movie. I was like, oh, this is why it has no buzz and it's not playing a lot of places because it sucks. It's a really poorly written film, pretty much badly acted film. And I normally like Batista. It's probably the direction, honestly, and the lines. Like it's just bad. It's bad. And the score really bothered me. And that's not something I would normally talk about, but and I think a good score either you just don't notice or might notice like this is good, but a bad score like it was very obnoxious. Like none of the it's almost like they just picked like some random like if you're on YouTube and you get like a choice of like random free background music and you just pick them and throw them into something because none of it fit like what was going on. It seemed very cheap and it was actually distracting. It was distractingly bad. But the movie was just very poor. It was a good idea, but it's written very poorly. Nothing was believable. It's also one of those action movies which maybe you got some of you guys are into, not so much me, where it's Batista and he'll go into a room and there's like 20 or 30 guys and he just kills them all, beats them all up, and he's always going to like. There's never any real danger for any of the heroes in the movie. And then here's the spoiler. So he's going this time. He's going to first. He found a Stradivarius, whatever the violin from like the 1600s, and now Samuel Jackson wants him to go and get the Mona Lisa. And so you think it's the actual Mona Lisa, and then here's the spoiler. It's actually an atomic bomb with the Mona Lisa on. And I don't know if this is a real like thing. Probably not, but they're like what is it, Fat Man and Little Boy or whatever. The two bombs they dropped in World War II. And apparently they had this other one, the Mona Lisa, that they were going to drop on Russia in case Russia went against the United States. And so it's been hidden in France for some reason for all this time. And so they find it. And then that's a big reveal. It's actually an atomic bomb. And so he's like, oh, I don't want to bring the atomic bomb back to Samuel Jackson. And so then the Russian dude's like, oh, I want the atomic bomb. I don't know what he wants to do, kill everybody or whatever. And so the thing is, you have to have the safety plug. It won't go off unless you have the safety plug. And so it's like two pieces to the thing. But it goes against its own plot because the Russians guy comes and they slaughter everybody, and they slaughter everybody with guns directly in front of the atomic bomb. Like it's literally right there, and they're shooting all these people right in front of the atomic bomb. And then the guy gets out and he shoots a rocket launcher and blows up the big truck that they were putting the atomic bomb on. And it's literally 10 feet from the atomic bomb. Now, would you have 20 guys with M60s, machines, Uzis shooting machine guns next to an atomic bomb? It's probably not very smart. They obliterate everybody. Their arms are flying off and stuff, but apparently don't hit the atomic bomb at all. And then to top it off, he shoots a rocket launcher 10 feet away from the atomic bomb, and it's fine. So it literally explodes 10 feet away. They show the bomb sitting there in this burning truck and all these bodies, and the bomb's fine. So like, I don't get it. Apparently, unless it's got the plug in it, it won't go off. But I would think if you shot an atomic bomb, it blows up. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. But let's say it doesn't. Then the big giant flaw here is so they're taking the train, the Russian dudes, And so you've got the train conductor, and he's going too slow, and so the Russian guy's pissed. He's like, "You gotta go faster," and he's like, "Oh, we gotta go slow. We gotta be safe with the atomic bomb." Which means that if he crashes, apparently his atomic bomb would explode. But no, I guess not. So why does he? Why is he so scared? Then it makes no sense. And then to top that off, the Russian dude just blows him away, shoots him in the back of the head, and they're like, ah ha ha, now we'll just keep going. And so I'm like, if they literally don't need a train conductor for the train to travel, why was he even there to begin with? So it's just really just stupid. It's a stupid movie, and not so stupid where it's like fun. It's just stupid. It's just a really stupid movie. And so then the train does blow up eventually and falls off the bridge, and I guess I assumed like the whole, like all of Russia, France was going to blow up, but no, they just leave the atomic bomb in this explosion, and apparently the explosion doesn't set off the atomic bomb because it doesn't have the plug in it. And I was like, this is just dumb. Like, I know you got to split the atom, but why was the train conductor so worried about crashing the train if the atomic bomb was on, it might explode. If it wouldn't explode anyway. So I mean, it was not. It's just so badly written, the movie. And then so he brings the key, the plug back to Samuel Jackson. He's like, "Where's my bomb?" And he's like, well, we'll leave it there in the ravine. And he's like, we'll get it someday. And he's like, well, I hope you're not, evil. But it was really setting up like this is gonna be a franchise, but I really doubt that's gonna happen. It's set up like there'll be a sequel, but I can't imagine that ever happening. Because I haven't heard anything about this movie. I don't think it's playing many places, and it fucking sucks. So I'm sure that's one and done for that. I don't know if it's based on something. Maybe it's based on a book. I know it gave thanks to some pretty famous writer, but I don't know if he wrote it or if he was just like they just thought this is so good. Let's thank this great artist or something. But it blew, and I'm a big fan of Batista. No one dislikes Samuel Jackson, but this was not good, folks. This was bad. So, I'd like a really fun Indian movie, Mirai. A flawed movie, I think that could have been really good in Caught Stealing, and then just a dud, a real dud in Afterburn. I was going to go see the live cast of Rocky Horror Picture Show, but it was freaking packed. And all right, seeing Rocky Horror Picture Show with the live cast is fun if you're drunk. I don't drink, and then I was going to go to it, and I was like, because they're going to say, oh, if you don't buy the toilet paper stuff, everyone throws stuff at you. And I was like, that sounds fun if I'm in the right mindset, or if you're with like a few people. But do I want to go there by myself, completely sober, and have everybody throwing toilet paper at me and stuff? I was like, nah, I think I'm good. So, but I recommend that if you've never done it. It is fun. I've been just walking around Boston. Went down to the upper crust, got a slice of pizza. I was trying to get the new Fall Harvest pizza, but they were all out of slices, and I can't eat a whole pizza. I could have maybe, but I guess sliced pepperoni is good. I went to this new place over here, but I wasn't hungry enough. The Wagyu house over here, and they've got like when you walk in, all the meat, all the Wagyu steak is there. Like you check it out. So I'm gonna have to make a trip there. I'm gonna bring Troy. We're gonna have to check out. It's right over here, the Wagyu Shabu house. All right, I think I'm going to take off. I can get over to the bus station and get back to the Cape. Taking the late bus. If I miss the late bus, which I won't, but I do have to get going because it's 20 minutes from now. I will actually jump onto the shuttle and go to the casino overnight. Kind of tempted to do it, but I think I'll be a good boy and I'll head back home. So, doing a lot of interviews this week. Monday, we'll probably do a live review of him. Tuesday, I think I'm doing a live interview. I'll announce who that's with. Wednesday is a live interview with Ivy Grossman. And then Thursday, we will be our regular live Without Your Head with the Billy Pone and Kelly if Circus of the Dead 2. Billy Pone directed Circus of the Dead. It's a great movie with Papa Corn, Killer Clown, Bill Oberst Jr. They're making the second one now, so we're going to talk about that Thursday for final week of Clown Month. Clown Party was such a fun time last week. Go back and check that out. Really chaotic show, very fun. Big thanks to Bill and Dolores, Terrible Troy, Cousin AJ, and Tara. Who's really put a lot into this show, and I really appreciate that. Her friend Victoria and Kelsey, aka Mischief. Great time. Morgan forgot. She thought it was a different day, but she'll be back on in the future episode. So I don't know. Maybe we'll do more clowns at some point. But coming up this month, we're going to be doing a ghost show. But there won't be as many live shows. Well, there might be some more live shows, but I'm going to be at Comic-Con 1 week, and I'm going to be in Salem 1 week. So it might be, a couple weeks without the regular live Thursday show. But we'll find out. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you, guys. Like, subscribe, share, become a member. It starts only $3 a month. Booyah! All right, here we go.
Hi, this is Adrienne Barbeau. Just call me Billy. Everyone does. And you're listening to WithoutYourHead.com.